Hey, Exotical Bratz dolls. So today I want to talk about how a lot of non-black women are actually jealous of MLS women as well. So for some reason, there seems to be this lie being perpetuated that MLS women that we're only desirable to dusty black men, and that no one's jealous of us, and non-black women are still quote unquote better than us. They still have higher status than us, and white women still think they're better than us and think that we are inferior to them. I know that to be false for a fact because I actually grew up in a white community. Anybody that assumes that every single white person on this earth automatically thinks they're superior to a person of color has obviously never even been around white people. So anyone who makes comments like that, I just automatically assume that they are extremely monocultural because I personally have had too many white girls be jealous of me in real life from the time I was a teenager. You think I've only experienced jealousy from unambiguous black girls or from other women of color? That's completely false. I've experienced just as much jealousy from non-black women as I have from black women. So this narrative that, oh my God, we're just targeting black women and those are the only ones that we feel like we can target, and but no, I bring smoke to everybody on this channel. I wish a white girl would come on this channel and comment and say that she's somehow superior to me and that she doesn't care about me and that I'm somehow ugly. In fact, if you are a white woman watching this, I dare you to come into my comment section talking shit. I will flame your ass so bad. Anyway, I want to tell you my story time about the many instances where I've had jealous non-black women. So I'm talking white women, I'm talking Latin American women, I'm talking about Asian women. So let me start off with white women. Some people like to use the term Karens. I'll start off with when I was a receptionist. This is when I was in my early 20s. I'm not sure if I told this story on my YouTube channel before, but I was a receptionist and I used to dress really cute at work. So I would wear like a cute little button-up shirt and like a matching pencil skirt. And I used to always wear my hair like curly, so either naturally curly or I would do wand curls with the curling wand. And then I would like wear really cute outfits and headbands and stuff like that. So anyway, I remember one time I was wearing my hair naturally curly. I'll try to post a picture up that is representative of kind of like what I looked like or what my hairstyle looked like. So I came into work that day. I had this really cute, naturally curly updo, kind of like a romantic loose bun, messy bun on top of my head. And then I put one of those sparkly headbands on it. You know those wedding headbands? They're like very dressy looking. So my hair looked bomb that day. And I remember there was another time when I came in and I was just wearing my hair naturally curly and it was just out and it looked really cute. So I came in and all the ladies in the office were like basically fangirling over me. Some of the doctors there, because I worked at a doctor's office at the front desk, some of the doctors were like complimenting me and stuff. And, everybody was like giving me attention. And then this one jealous ass white lady. Okay, you know those ladies that are built like a refrigerator? So this lady, she had like a refrigerator body. Her hair was literally like, she had that short haircut with the early 2000s highlights. You know those stripy highlights where it's like blonde and then it goes to burgundy, then it goes to brown, then it goes to black, then it's back to blonde. She had the stripy highlights. It was giving early 2000s trailer. It was giving trailer vibes. So anyway, I walked in, I was looking cute or whatever, and then she immediately, once she saw me kind of like toss my hair to the side, I kind of flipped my hair or whatever, just like to get it out of my face, and she was like, "You're frizzing up your hair by doing that." And I was like, first of all, that was an extremely jealous ass comment. Like she was incredibly triggered by the fact that I like looked cute or whatever, and that my hair was like curly and that it looked better than her trashy ass chin length highlights. But anyway, when she said that, I literally just like looked at her and then looked away. Like I just paid her dust. Like I literally looked her in the eye and just straight up ignored her to her face. So she got the message that like I didn't give a fuck about what she thought of me. And then a few weeks later, I found out that sure enough, she dates black guys. So I noticed sometimes there's a pattern when it comes to some of the white ladies that are jealous of me or some of the non-black girls that have been jealous of us MLS women in the past. It's like they sometimes date these unambiguous black guys or MLS guys, and for whatever reason, I feel like they assume that those guys prefer us. So even women of other races seem to know that we are a quote unquote preference to some of these dusty guys. But it's like, first of all, I don't care about who she dates. And secondly, her making that comment, like it didn't bother me at all. I literally just kept going into work and like looking cute or whatever. She eventually quit the job. But I have another story about this other white lady who was extremely jealous. So it was the same job actually. I worked at the doctor's office, working at the front desk, and I used to always come in with my cute outfits on. So I would wear cute the pencil skirts, the matching button-up shirts. I used to wear like little pantsuits and stuff. So we were allowed to wear jeans as long as they didn't have rips in them. So I had a pair of these black jeans, these black skinny jeans, and I would wear them with like black boots and a black blazer and then a button-up shirt. So kind of like a pantsuit type of look. And then I'd have my makeup done. My hair would be in a high bun or something, or a ponytail, like a nice slick back ponytail, or one of those big curly ponytails where it's kind of at the top of your head, kind of falling down on the sides. So I would come in every day looking cute. And by the way, this white lady at my job, so the way that she looked was, I'm sorry, but once again, she happened to have one of those body shapes where it was kind of like frumpy looking. I mean, I don't think she looked frumpy, but she is the one who felt like she looked frumpy because she would always say how she looked really pudgy and had like the whole love handles and whatever. And I'm tall, I'm slender, I have like a natural hourglass type of shape or whatever. And so I always wore just nice form-fitting professional clothes. And I noticed she used to try to make comments about my outfits like, oh, well, technically you're not supposed to wear pants that are like skinny jeans. First of all, that was false. There were plenty of other people at the job who wore skinny jeans all the time. She was just mad because I actually looked good in my skinny jeans. And when I worked at that job, sometimes the doctors, they would like buy me lunch or they'd buy me breakfast or they would kind of like show me favoritism in the office. And these women, since they were pick-me's, because remember, white women are the creators of pick-me culture, in my opinion. I actually don't think that women of color created pick-me culture. White women have been pick-me's. They have been the mules for white men since before people of color even had the rights to even get married. So this whole narrative that like, oh, black women are the biggest pick-me's, mixed women are the biggest pick-me's, Asian women are pick-me's. No, that's false. Because the first quote unquote conquerors were the white males, right? And who were the ones who were supporting those men? And who were the ones who were providing the free domestic labor for those men since hundreds of years ago, back when African Americans were enslaved? It was white women. So some white women that I've encountered in the past are some of the most male-identified women that you could ever encounter. And I feel like sometimes if a white woman is like racist or something, I feel like sometimes it's not just rooted in racism. Sometimes it's also rooted in the fact that maybe you're getting male attention or whatever because you're considered the quote-unquote exotic one, or, maybe the white guys have a fetish for you and then they're like threatened by that or whatever. So anyway, this woman was an absolute pick-me. She was completely desperate for any male attention that she could get. By the way, she was at least double my age. So the fact that she's even trying to compete with me, I had to be maybe about 23 years old at the very oldest. She was at least about 45 years old. Literally around my mom's age. So I'm like, okay, why is she worried about like what I'm wearing or whatever? But she was making comments about my clothing, and it got to the point where she literally would try to like report me and say that I'm dressed outside of the dress code or whatever. And by the way, she was not the only one that did that. She would go to other white women in the office and try to say like, oh, look at Exoticals United, like she's wearing jeans. I've never seen other girls wear jeans like that. Other women wore jeans like that all the time, but they just looked frumpy because they had muffin tops and looked like crap. I actually looked cute in my jeans, and that's why she was noticing them. She only noticed my jeans because she felt like the doctors in the office who she wished she could have been with were noticing my jeans. That's what she was mad about. And so anyway, she tried to like report me or whatever. It didn't work out because I ended up telling the manager like, oh yeah, she's literally just trying to come at me because she's basically a hater. And so nothing bad happened. I didn't get fired or anything from that job. So that's another scenario of a white woman being jealous. Another scenario I had was actually with an Armenian girl. So she's kind of like, you know how the Kardashians are? Like, I don't know, whatever you consider that race to be or whatever. So she was Armenian. So she had kind of tan skin. She had like a Roman nose and she had black hair, same color as mine. And her hair was like straight though, and my hair is naturally curly. So anyway, she was my friend. I'm taking it all the way back to high school now. So she was my friend in high school, and I remember she would always try to compete with me, but I never really noticed it until I remember one day I came to school and like I looked really cute or whatever. And then I also remember that like So at my school, we had choir auditions, like the opera music type of choirs, not the good choirs. But anyway, so I remember I tried out for the choir and I made it onto the choir. And it was like a big deal at my high school because I went to a private school. So it wasn't like the same as public schools where they had football teams and all that stuff. So at my school, the choir was like what all the popular kids were doing. It was the choir and the basketball team. Lacrosse was popular. Anyway, so I made it into the choir, and I was the only one in our friend group who was able to make it into this opera singing choir. I always felt like opera singing it's not that hard. But anyway, so she was low key jealous or whatever because I was like becoming popular and like, people started noticing me. Guys were like flirting or whatever. And I was, I had a lot of confidence and I used to come to school kind of more dressed up and stuff because I had my little choir events. And I remember one time I was in the bathroom and I was like getting ready and doing my makeup or whatever for one of the events. And she called me an ugly black bitch. Like thinking that I would somehow feel some sort of inferiority complex about that or something. And long story short, she ended up saying like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like basically I was jealous or whatever. I was just mad because I felt left out because, you're kind of becoming popular now and I'm not." And so my dumbass, not only did I forgive her, but we stayed friends after that. And then I remember we went on one high school field trip where we went to this fair and there were these white guys there. And my friend, this Armenian girl, she was like such a thought and such a pick me, literally. So we were just walking around at the fair. I wanted to go on rides. I wanted to like eat the cotton candy and stuff like a typical teenager would. This girl wanted to go and flirt with guys. And I was not interested in it. So I was standing in line to get some funnel cakes, and these random white guys, they came up to me, like trying to hit on me or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, no, thank you," or whatever. And then my friend, the Armenian girl, she was like, "Oh, hey, what's your name? Oh, I'll talk to you." So she was doing the same method that I've seen some unambiguous women doing, where it's like, she wants to kind of talk to my quote unquote leftovers, or like she's almost pimping me or siphoning me, using me to attract attention, or like trying to talk to the guys that I don't want to talk to or whatever. So anyway, she ends up trying to talk to these guys. These guys end up hanging out with us. She invites these guys to like hang out with us at the fair the whole night. So they were literally talking to us for like multiple hours, like literally 2 hours. They ended up getting on certain rides with us, standing in line with us. And then I finally got fed up and I was like, "Okay, why are you guys, getting on all the same rides as us and like trying to follow us basically?" And these guys literally were like, "Oh, actually, we're here with the local Christian church and we are handing out those evangelism pamphlets. So we're just trying to like witness to people and stuff. And because you guys wanted to talk to us the most, we were hoping that we could like talk to you about God and talk to you about our church." I laughed so hard. So my friend, the Armenian girl, she was trying so hard to like flirt with these guys, make sexual comments, trying to be such a pick me. And these guys were literally there so that they could hand out pamphlets. And yes, I'm not saying that those guys were not also thirsty and weren't trying to like get some cootie cat on the side, but the fact that she went through all of those lengths to try to show like how sexy she was or like how desirable she was going through all of those pick-me-isms, and those guys were literal ministers at the end of the day. So that was extremely pathetic. But I have so many more stories about non-black women being jealous towards me or like trying to bring me smoke for no reason because they're literally just threatened. And so this whole narrative that, us MLS women, that we are somehow threatened by white women or Latin women or Asian women or whatever, that is completely false. This is not one of those YouTube channels where I like try to talk down on blackness and talk up on whiteness, or where I try to talk down on unambiguous people and talk up on monoracial non-black people. We're not keeping that energy over here. I don't pedestalize one ethnicity over another. I bring equal smoke to all of the ethnicities here in the Exoticals United community. So, have any of you guys ever experienced jealousy in the Pretty Girl Club? Have you ever had non-black women in particular try to be rude to you in the workplace, or they try to sabotage you? By the way, I've got a whole series coming up on non-black women and their jealousy towards MLS women while simultaneously mixed fishing. It's just crazy because, like I said, I feel like most people want to date us or create us. And that's just facts. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like I don't care if you like mixed people or you want to create mixed people as long as you don't espouse racism towards mixed race people or try to pretend like we are somehow mediocre or basic when it's clear that we're not. Anyway, have any of you ladies ever experienced any of these things? Let's get the discussion started in the comments section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.